Deuce Deuce, Internet Society. How y'all doing? 936, Unique the Godfather of Consciousness. Coming at you live. Not live. Coming at you with another video broadcast. In the hopes of provoking independent thought. In the hopes of expanding one's conscious awareness within self. How you doing? I hope all is well for you, but let's try to make this message short. On my way in to my daily hustle today, something interesting took place. Something that inspired this message. And upon receiving it, I do hope it finds you well, divine brother and divine sister. So, as I made my way into my hustle spot, I came across this individual. And here's a warning right here. I mean, you may take this as being weird, but come on now, it is what it is. And this individual offered me divine blessing. And when I say divine blessing, I just simply means that Shorty said, God bless you. Okay. What's the point? Somebody said God bless you. Hold on, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Come on now. You know I ain't just gonna do some shit like that. Suspense. Nah, I'm in a playful mood, so bear with me. I'm playing right now. Building up the suspense for what you're about to hear. Because thinking back at it and shit, it still surprises me that I responded in such a manner, but here we go. So I was offered divine blessing, and in the moment of that blessing being projected my way, I rejected it. So what do you mean you rejected it? An individual said, God bless you, and without thinking twice about it, my mind just went, I reject that blessing. Say, why? Why would you do that? Aren't blessings supposed to be good? Why would you reject a blessing? Well, truth be told, brothers and sisters, I too sat with that question upon that whole situation taking place, because I had to arrive at some level of understanding as to why would I reject a blessing. But before we go into that, let's just touch on a little bit of things that you either are already aware of when it comes to dealing with this character that you're seeing, or that you've gotten hints of that, okay, this is how the nigga move. And what I'm getting at is this reality that you see, that you are experiencing, I perceive it differently from others within my reality, and I embrace that about myself. I respect that about myself. I accept it. Hence the term, or hence the name, unique. In actuality, I mean, that really does not make me unique, because we all were built and conditioned to perceive the world differently, perceive society differently, but due to these governing structures and these egotistical maniacs that seek to rule over all, their goal is to get everybody to think and believe and see reality the same. Which is why the good Lord has placed me in this chaotic world where for a long time I've been chastised simply because I see differently, I think differently, I believe differently, I speak differently. My burden in every environment, amongst every person, I am misunderstood simply because I challenge everything society represents. Not to rebel for the sake of rebelling, but because society is fucking sick, man. Society is mad. The craziest motherfuckers are believed to be sane, and the sane motherfuckers are believed to be crazy. Do you see? We're getting distracted. But yes, if you don't know this by now, watching my videos, I hope this makes it clear. I perceive the world differently. So, while on the surface, somebody offering Unique, the Godfather of Consciousness, blessing, you may perceive that to be, hey, cool, bro. Shorty blessed you. I'm perceiving it to be otherwise. That which you perceive to be truth, I perceive to be lies. That which you perceive to be order, I perceive to be chaos. That which you perceive to be wisdom, I perceive to be absolute ignorance. Yes, I am aware one has to be functioning from another dimension or another world or another perspective to be able to speak in such a manner. And trust and believe this is something I've struggled with all my life. Why are you different? Why do you think the way you do? Why do you believe the way you believe? But as I've said, I now accept it. I am me. And I don't dare wish to be anything other than that. I've never wished to be anything other than me. I love me, happy with me, grateful that I am me. But let's stick with the whole topic. So, yes, the lady said, God bless you. And instantly I said, I reject that blessing. Why? After the encounter, sat with myself, because again, my desire is to always arrive to some level of understanding as to why things played out the way it played out. For every cause, there's an effect, and I like to understand stuff. So, upon asking myself this question, as I suggest to everybody, ask yourself question, because in actuality, all the answers that you will ever seek in your existence lies within you. The only thing is, you got to become aware of the answers, because you're your own teacher. You're your own master. You're your own student, your own pupil. You are your own servant and your own master. Divine brothers and sisters, you are everything you will ever need. So, back to my situation. As I asked myself these questions, as a humble student to myself, the answer came. And it went like this. Father, why did I reject that blessing? And Father simply said, and when I say Father, it's just my internal dialogue with myself. Father simply said that, look, child, not every blessing is a blessing. Not every blessing is a blessing, my child. I said, all right. I'm not going to question you. It makes perfect sense. Not every blessing is a blessing, yes, because experience has proven to me that there have been a good amount of people who have crossed my path who, on the surface, intended good, but beneath the surface, their intent was bad. The mask that they had on, it had a smile, but beneath the mask, there was anger. So it wasn't too much of an issue to accept that realization that not every blessing is a blessing. And upon realizing this, another thought came to mind, and the thought was this. As I've said before, within this reality, there are two gods. And I simply broke it down to two. There are many, many, many gods, but I break it down to two simply because the way I move is like this. You have the living God that lives and flows and expresses itself through man. And then you have the man-made God. A God that man created for himself and looked to as God. This is what I mean by you have two gods. And in my reality, man's God, I don't recognize. Man's God is insulting to the living God. And after a great deal of research, I have arrived at the realization that this God that man serves, worships, and believes in, I'm going to label that individual as the Pope. Profound of me, wouldn't you say, to offer such a accusation. But yes, brothers and sisters, again, I have my reasons. See, as I've said, the whole thing with the oath that all these priests and prophets of the Catholic Church take, as I said, one day we will speak on it, and perhaps you will understand why I feel the way I do. And I mean, obviously, if you look at the surface of everything, how everybody respond to this Pope, you can see my point. Niggas bowing down to this nigga, worshiping this nigga, um, believing that he is the voice of God or whatever. All this dumbass shit. Yes. And had I had my booklet out, I could have summarized a little bit of the oath that they take. But long story short, these people who bow down and submit their will to this Pope, it's an organization, the Society of Jesus Christ. There's a certain way that they move where it's like, do any and everything to ensure God's will is done, even if it's negative. Do what needs to be done to ensure God's will is done. And this God that I'm speaking of, the Pope, of course. And so when my mind went to that, I began to realize, okay, clearly we serve two different masters. You're blessing me using the name of your master. Your master is a pedophile. Your master sits by and allow destruction and chaos. And anybody who does not believe in the Society of Jesus Christ, they are an enemy to the state and they must be destroyed at any means. I don't think I want blessings from your God. Now, rationally, I wasn't thinking this. Again, in that moment, it just happened. It was after. It was after. Once I began to try to rationalize what has taken place, I arrived at these answers. So, again, I don't want blessings from man's God. If it is blessing from the living Spirit of God that is expressing itself through me, by all means, I welcome that. However, if it is a blessing from a wannabe deity, if it is blessing from a pedophile, if it is a blessing from a demonic entity posing as the light or Christ, I don't want that. You may be thinking, Unique, the lady did not mean nothing by that. I mean, how did you how did you arrive at such a conclusion to think that there was ill intent beneath the surface of that blessing? As I've shared with you, I like truth. As I've shared with you, my Father and I, we are one. My entire energetic antenna is set up to be in tune with my inner spirit, that is my God, or that is my source. So if somebody is offering me blessings and in that moment I'm rejecting it, clearly my source knows better than I. And believing my source to know better than I and accepting that reality, I'm not going to question it. And then with the facts being presented before me, where it's like, not every blessing is a blessing, because there are some people who literally can be blessing you with their mouth, but then with their spirit, they are cursing you. I'm not going to doubt my Father. And I never do, because Father is all. Father is great. Mother and Father is the source of creation. Those who believe in Mother and Father, yes, at the hands and at the mercy of these church believers or these man-made God believers, we suffer, but our spirit is free. That is the difference between us and them. What am I referring to? These churchgoers, brothers and sisters. If you are on my frequency, by now I'm sure you have come to realize that the entire organization that is churches worldwide, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion, you could agree to disagree, it's all good. The intention is never to force my perspective or my perception on life on anybody. You know this. The only goal is to get you to think. But let's get back on it. It is my opinion when it comes to the whole churches worldwide, it is as if demons have taken over these houses in which the children of the Most High was to go when they felt unworthy, when they felt unhappy, when they felt depressed, when they felt like life was just fucking them up. This sanctuary that they were to go to receive inspirational messages that was channeled by prophets, these posers, demons in the flesh, have taken these positions of the prophets, and now the house of God have turned into a house of hypocrites. Those who say the name God, those who say they believe in God, but at the surface level, these people believe in idol worship. They believe in the various demons that is attached to them. These souls, they do things that once it is revealed to the light, once the light is shined upon it, everyone would simply be like, yo, that's what the fuck you've been worshiping all this time? But then yet, in the public's eye, you are going cuckoo for God. You are passing out in church, speaking in tongue. I don't even know how that came about. But yes, you praise and worship all of this. But when you go home, when nobody ain't watching you, your ass is bowing down to a idol. Your ass is like casting spell on people, putting curses and hexes on people. That's what you do? Yes, brothers and sisters. From my experience and from what I have bear witness to, from what has been revealed to me, both on a spiritual level and in a physical level and on a mental level and on an emotional level, not everything is as it seems. Some of the high-ranking members within churches, when the lights is not on them, when they're not standing in front of the pews and speaking their message to hypnotize the minds that are there to receive these messages to help inspire them to become better versions of themselves, when they're not doing these things, they're behind closed doors worshiping their idols. And it is from these idols that I rejected that blessing. It is from these false gods that I rejected that blessing, or I should say, my spirit rejected that blessing that was offered to me by that individual. Two different gods. I don't want your gods and your God's blessing. Your God and your God's blessing has done nothing but create a life of despair, pain, sorrows, and misery for me. It wasn't until my God revealed itself to me, began to teach me her ways, began to guide me, open me up to perceiving things that I would have never conceived of, that I was free from my despair, my pain. I was free from that despair, that pain, that sorrow, that fear. While I was busy searching for my God in these churches and amongst these people that are giving out blessings left and right. While I was busy doing that, failing to realize all these times I was being cursed, hexes was being thrown upon me, I was hurting, or I was being hurt energetically, spiritually. Why do I say energetically and spiritually? Because divine brother, divine sister, and Damon that is watching, you're still my brother and my sister, but it's still fuck you. But let's get back on that. Why do I say this in regards to the whole spiritual aspect? Because, brothers and sisters, we do not battle with flesh and bone as it has been written. We battle with principalities and spiritual warfare. We are battling energetically and spiritually. And for a long time, brothers and sisters, we have been at the mercy of these warlocks, of these witches, who have been placing hexes on us in the forms of blessings. God bless you. Oh, thank you. I received that blessing. Well, underneath the surface, that blessing that was given to you was a curse. And because you don't have that fine-tuned relationship with your mother and your father, your energetic vibration, your aura, your magnetic field is open to being attacked, or is open to be infected by these spirits that are projected towards you. But you see, on this day and in that moment that took place, a few revelation occurs. A few revelation occurred to me. And one of them being is like, all this work that I have been putting in to work on my energy, to work on my aura, to work on my magnetic field, it hasn't been for nothing. All this time and energy, it has not went to waste. Now I'm being raw with you right now. Again, my perspective, very different. My perspective, shocking. My perspective goes against everything you have come to know as true. I know this. I accept this. It is just because of this part of me that I have yet to find a place that I can call home in this world. And one day I know my master, my God, is going to lead me amongst people that can love and accept and respect and value the being within the flesh, and see that your perspective ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just who you are. The good Lord has given you a certain glasses where you could see things that most within the reality cannot see. And you, being so stubborn and attached to your God, you refuse to believe what society is telling you, because you trust your mother and your father more than you trust society. In due time I shall arrive amongst them people, but until that time, brothers and sisters, because of my way of perceiving life, I have been chastised, I have been abused, I am constantly under attack. When I sleep, I am under attack. When I'm awake, I'm under attack. Mentally, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, never physically. Because none of these motherfuckers stupid enough to put their hands on me. And again, I'm not the violent type. Violence is never the answer for me, as I always say. However, I'm not the type where you put your hands on me, I turn the other cheek. So emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I'm under attack. For what? Because of the anchor that I have in on the foundation that is my source, that is my God. When you believe otherwise, when you believe in a way that go contrary to society belief, you become a problem for those who have constructed their well-organized plan to get each individual within the society to move to the beat of their drum. And me, look, bro, if your organization knows me, because let's not play no more. Y'all know who the fuck I am. Y'all do. I know. The problem was I didn't know who I was. And even once I became aware of who I was, it took some time to accept, oh, so that's who I really am? Cool. But come on, Pops? Like for real? Say, yeah, but you sure, Pops? Yeah. Then once accepting that role and that responsibility, it went on the path where now you had to relearn your wisdom, or you had to remember your wisdom. You had to remember the wisdom of your father and your mother. And so now, going through the process of initiation, being prepped to sit on my throne, or to be that which mother and father created me to be. And in simpler terms, I just like to refer it as his sword of his spirit. Because with his sword, I shall destroy every and all lies and illusion that your organization has created. And this is the reason why I have been under so much attack since my youth. And now, and when the attack became even more severe, when I became aware of self, because it's as if it's like, yo, we need to get this motherfucker back to sleep. We need to get this motherfucker to not believe in himself. We need to get this motherfucker to not speak. Throat chakra being attacked, confidence being attacked, belief in self being attacked. I mean, everything has been under attack. But yet, I still move. But yet, I'm still moving.